Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about Breath of the Waifu Simulator 2020, Genshin Impact. Now I know what you're thinking, isn't that just Breath of the Wild? But I must tell you, they improved the formula tenfold. Now I must tell you, this definitely had all the potential to be one of my favorite games in recent memory. And, I mean, the time I did spend on it was still heavily enjoyable. But then I did progress further enough. I'm almost adventure rank 30, and I have noticed quite a number of changes that's fundamentally changing the experience. But don't get me wrong, it is definitely still worth checking out, and you do get a massive amount of content, especially for it being a free-to-play game. But then you put gacha elements into the mix and it just takes it into a whole different ball game than what I personally was expecting, but I guess I should have known better, since this is particularly why I tend to avoid gacha games. But even with those elements, I must still say this is definitely one of my favorite games, and I have heard that there are a lot of updates coming to the game that will add a lot more content. Like, one of the things I did hear was they are adding a new area to the game in the 1.1 update coming either next month or in December, but let's just see how that goes. But I still do hope they fundamentally change the end game. This is also one of the only games that I have seen that actually limit your weekly XP that you can put into the battle pass, which I don't see what is the point to that other than just to limit your progress and limit how much you can do, so you have to keep logging on for an extended amount of time when you could have done the whole thing in, say, 2 to 3 weeks instead of the entire 4 to 5 weeks. Now, this is my current lineup and current roster that I have managed to get so far through undisclosed methods that I'm not sure I'm very proud of to mention at the moment. One other thing to note about these characters is that aside from the materials you'll obviously need to ascend, which are an annoyance to get due to daily rotation dungeons rewards, is the way that they level up. Now, in a normal game, you kill things, you gain XP, you level up. Here, you need to gain XP books, basically. And here I have 18 books. I leveled up once, because I'm already level 40 plus. So at this point, compared to how it was early game, the grinding has definitely started increasing. And if that wasn't enough, then you get into the hassle of leveling up and then eventually ascending weapons that follow the same process, except in this case, to even level up weapons or artifacts, you must sacrifice weapons or artifacts to their respective item, and then they start leveling up casually, requiring more and more to even be able to level up, which that's one thing that I do not like about this game, is that personally I like to experiment in my RPGs, level up a certain amount of sets of things that I want to try in the game, but this method makes it kind of seem illogical, because then you're spending time upgrading artifacts that you're potentially not going to use, but then you already wasted so many other artifacts just going into that one artifact, while you could be maxing out artifacts that you do know you're going to use on a different character. So it kind of just contradicts itself for being what I personally like out of RPGs. Then there are constellations for characters, and oh boy, is this one of the things I despise the most in this game. Because say you have a 5-star character, you gotta get duplications of that character to get the special currency that you need just to level up their constellation, which could go up to 6 times. Fitchel is currently the only character that I have maxed out her constellation, but just imagine having to do that on a, say, a 5-star. I don't even have a Diluc in general, then I'm gonna need to pull him 6 times just for a level 6 constellation. And then there's the amount of weapons you need to throw into just leveling up. This weapon is 42. 6 3-star weapons. And I get, what is that, maybe like almost 20% of 1 XP bar. So I definitely hope that they rework this way, but I don't think that in particular is going to change. But now this right here is something I definitely do want changed. Now these rewards for dungeons, aside from them costing 20 energy off of the 120 max that you get throughout the entire game, these dungeons rotate daily. So say you got a day off, but you want to ascend your favorite character. Oh, you can't do that because it's not a Monday. And then there are these, I guess you could call them the end game bosses. They offer the best rewards, but on top of costing 60 energy just to claim their loot off of them, their loot refreshes every week. So you can't even farm them. You kind of have to just get lucky, and hopefully they'll drop what you need and some materials while they're at it. But then the energy system itself, that costs 60, a normal dungeon costs 20, an elite boss costs 40. It takes 8 minutes to get 1 energy back. So that would take about 16 hours to recharge your entire energy bar. That just seems incredibly counterproductive for a game that wants you to keep spending time on it. So you run out of energy in the post game, there is almost nothing you can do except just wait until it recharges. I've even seen some articles that talk about how they can only play about 13 minutes a day due to energy restrictions. So overall, the biggest thing I hope they do change is just energy. The rest I can honestly just deal with and still probably be enjoying this game heavily. It's just that one aspect is heavily limiting how much you get to play. Like me myself, I work almost every day of the week, usually Monday through Saturday, sometimes even Sunday. Sometimes I get the 1 day off every 2 weeks. So I want to get the 1 day off that I do have. I would personally like to be able to farm the character that I enjoy, but this game just doesn't want you to do that. So there is what I think about this game, and what I do enjoy about it, what I dislike about it. Let me know what y'all think about the game. Whether you're still enjoying it, still playing it, maybe dropped it, or blown hundreds of dollars just to get Diluc. Definitely can't say I haven't been there, but wasn't fortunate enough to get Diluc like the people rolling Diluc on their second 10 roll. But I guess Honey Jesus doesn't bless us all equally. So that's it for today, and see you guys on the next one.